YouTube, what's happening? It's Richard, founder of Short Term Rental University and professional real estate developer. And today's video is a segment that I've watched on CNBC from Byron Wien of the Blackstone Group. He comes out with his top predictions at the beginning of the year, and they're kind of like counterintuitive or really far out there. And that's what makes them kind of like interesting. So in that spirit, I'm going to come up with the top 5 things that I think are going to happen in 2020 that will surprise us all. And let's see if I'm right. But before we get started, I just want to remind you that HostZaver, the one-click solution to create your own short-term rental website, is now available and it's live. If you've been following the channel, then you know how important it is to take control of your own destiny, own your own business, own your own brand, and have your own website in 2020 and beyond. So in order to get started, go to hostzaver.com. For more information, watch the very end of the video and we'll share some stuff with you. Now let's get right into it. So my very first prediction is really based on just like the history of business. And it's where we are in the economic cycle. As many of you know, we're in the longest bull market we've ever seen, and consequently, assets are priced to perfection. There's a lot of cash on the sidelines. It doesn't really know where to go. And a lot of venture capital money is chasing unicorn-type deals because that's what's been working in the past decade. But in every instance when something like this happens and valuations get stretched and there's too much money chasing too few good ideas, bad things happen. And so it's in that spirit that I say there's so much money being thrown at rental arbitrage companies and people that are trying to scale really quickly and take down hundreds of units, thousands of units. And there's companies like Lyric and Sonder and on and on and on. And there's just so much money being raised at such high valuations in this like land grab because the opportunity is so great. They're all coming in. My prediction is in 2020, or later, I don't exactly know the timing, but it could happen in 2020 or 2021. I'll probably repeat this in 2021. My prediction is one or more of them fail, roll over, go out of business, or get rescued by a competitor, some sort of like takeover, merger, something like that. But I don't believe that the valuations are sustainable. I don't believe that the income projections that they're modeling are sustainable. And I don't think that the business model overall makes a lot of sense. And so my prediction is we will see some sort of failure, hiccup, trouble, merger, bankruptcy, something like that in one of these larger companies that's raised a lot of VC money based on like really rosy projections and growth and so on, which I just don't really think is going to be there in 2020. So let's see if I'm right. The second prediction is kind of consistent with things I've been teaching about of late, which is that I believe the pendulum swings too far in every direction. So I believe that the anti-STR, anti-Airbnb sort of like cities regulatory environment that's like all negative against short-term tenants, I believe that that's going to change and we will see a major city reverse course. So a city that had banned STRs or put all sorts of restrictions, that's really high profile and high visibility, I think will ease very publicly and in turn welcome Airbnbs and short-term rentals and start to tax them. So we'll see what happens in the headlines if I'm right. The third thing I'm going to share with you is I believe that the marketplace is going to bifurcate in 2020. And what does that mean? I think we're going to have 2 different markets. You've heard me teach before about the importance of being unique and differentiated and avoiding things that are generic and commonplace and easy to replicate. And I think what we're going to see is that if you're playing in that really generic sort of like nondescript, plain vanilla, nothing great about you other than the fact that you're on Airbnb, they will be overwhelmed by competition. Prices are going to start to go down, and that segment of the population is going to be less attractive, less successful, and just maybe start to like think about exiting versus the bifurcated market where you start to see premiums being paid for unique places, places with character, distinction, location, views, design, architecture, something like that. And I think we're going to start to see a very bifurcated market, which means the rich get richer, the weak get weaker. The fourth one is that we all know Airbnb plans to go public in 2020, and I would have made a prediction that Airbnb won't go public on 2020 based kind of in the long economic cycle and the fact that the stock market rallied so hard in December of 2019 and it continues in 2020 and it's just not sustainable or repeatable. So I'm of the opinion that the stock market will roll over, and if it rolls over hard, then Airbnb may not go public if the environment is not favorable. But let's just assume that everything continues the way it is. Airbnb, in fact, does go public in 2020. my prediction and the surprise here will be, with all of the proceeds from the IPO, I believe Airbnb will hire some really good PR people, and they'll figure out really great ways to enhance our community and our society, and they will donate to causes that make everybody feel good and really start to like Airbnb more. And I think they will have an impact, because I don't think they're doing it for gloss just to sort of like get good publicity. I think they're really doing it because of social good, and they might help things, like education and homelessness issues and long-term tenant issues. And you're going to start to see Airbnb's name, in my opinion, doing things for social good that help promote the company and try and stem some of the negativity around short-term rentals out there in like different cities and communities. We're now going to start to hear positive, feel-good stories about Airbnb and short-term rentals. And finally, my fifth one, this is just a flyer. I don't really know, but I think we are going to see somebody with real brand recognition, whether they're a celebrity or a politician or somebody that we cannot believe is using Airbnb for their primary home. I believe that we are going to see some really high-end, well-known household names putting their properties on Airbnb because they likely have 16 or 17 different homes all around the world. They can't be in them all, and even they will understand the value of sharing that to help create experiences and memories and allow other people to enjoy it, and also, of course, to monetize it. So I bet there'll be some sort of big press when we find out that politician X or celebrity Y is also using Airbnb as a host and that they love it. So stay tuned. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think is going to happen in 2020? And what do you think of my 5 surprises? Am I right? Am I wrong? Which do you agree with? Which don't? In the comments below, friends, let's share with everybody. And as always, I'm going to encourage you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video. I just want to share with you that the HostSaver one-click website tool is now live. Like, people are on it and they're using it all the time. And we really want to encourage you to take control of your financial future by building your own brand and building your own business and getting off the dependency of the platforms. Take charge and control of your own future and develop relationships with your clients, the people that have come and stayed in your home. Tell them about discounts or specials that you have. Tell them that you expanded. Tell them anything that you want. Write blogs and start to get your own traction, right? Attract your own tribe using your own website. This is what businesses do. It's 2020. The time is now for people like me and you to build our own website and become platform agnostic. So go ahead and click in the description below to register for the HostSaver. One click and you have your own custom, absolutely gorgeous, works flawlessly website. Can't wait to see you there. Let's go, friends.